So I was doing an AI video for the next 30 days and today is day 30. I am finally done and today we're going to do a recap of everything we need to do and talk about artificial intelligence as lawyers in Canada. 30 days ago, I started asking one question. What are the actual AI rules for lawyers in Canada? Today, we close it out. Here's everything this series covered and where all of this is probably headed next. I'm trying to put some questions in your head so we can discuss them in the comments below. Let's start with the foundation. Every province and territory in Canada regulates lawyers separately, but almost all of them build off one shared document, the Federation of Law Societies of Canada's Model Code. Think of it as the skeleton of every province that puts its own muscle on it. From there, we broke down that every single law society agrees on it. Competence now includes understanding your artificial intelligence tools, how you are using them, how is the output going to be used. Confidentiality means being careful with what you feed into your artificial intelligence tools. Judgment can never be delegated to artificial intelligence. Every output has to be verified, and no matter what tool was used, the lawyer is always going to be the one responsible for the output and the prompt used for the input. Then we went province by province and found real differences hiding under that shared document. Manitoba was first to formally address generative AI with the bluntest language of any province. Ontario went the most relaxed direction, encouraging experimentation of usage of artificial intelligence and no requirement to disclose artificial intelligence and using to clients, the disclosure to clients, sorry. Alberta built the most detailed operational playbook of any province for their lawyers, and Quebec went further than anyone, layering in a mandatory artificial intelligence training for every single member starting in 2026. On top of an entirely different legal system, civil law instead of common law, plus its own privacy laws in Law 25. We looked at the courts too. The series covered the courts and not just the law societies. The federal court requires a formal declaration whenever artificial intelligence was used in materials filed with the courts, and Manitoba's Court of King's Bench has its own version of that same requirement. These aren't guidelines. These are enforceable court rules being used by law societies and lawyers. And this series wasn't just theories. We covered real cases. An Ontario lawyer suspended after the use of ChatGPT, a $31,151 fine, the largest artificial intelligence related penalty in Canadian legal history over fake case laws and fake citations. 3 separate Canadian tribunals catching a similar artificial intelligence mistake in the same week. And in Quebec, an entire arbitral award thrown out of a court found the arbitrator had to let generative AI do his thinking for him. These weren't just hypotheticals. These are actually what happened. So tune into the videos from our series. We also flipped the lens towards clients. 85% of the clients that they do want to know when lawyers are using artificial intelligence on their files, they want a full disclosure. So that brings us as lawyers, as barristers, to think that do we want to disclose that we are using artificial intelligence in administration or in our research, or do we simply want to keep that concealed? Do we want to use that as a disclaimer once or in our retainers, or once we are getting forms filled out from our clients? Let's think about that and talk about it. And we want the bigger and we even covered the bigger picture. Canada is trying to pass a bill, but unfortunately, due to our Prime Minister resigning, we did not do that. And now that brings the question, and you can even check out day 29, is that do we need an AI law? Do we need to enforce people who are misusing AI? Because as technology is developing by the day, we need to see what is happening, what can be the pros and the cons and the criminal effects of this on our society as a whole. And because around maybe when we were in school, we had seen laptops and phones and everything getting so, new by the day. So cybercrime was introduced, and separate, websites for reporting those crimes were introduced. But it has been now a few years that artificial intelligence has been introduced, and we do not have any place where we can make a formal complaint of misuse of artificial intelligence. And it is something to think about. Is why I started this series, is that a lot of lawyers, like me, and senior lawyers and junior lawyers, and somebody who's almost like, I'm in 4 or 5 years of practice, we have not discussed artificial intelligence openly. Either law firms are working completely in a traditional manner because they respect privacy to another extent, or either there's sole practitioners who are using artificial intelligence for everything. So we need to understand, as lawyers, as professionals, what is the balance and how can we use it, and how can we guide our clients to use it properly, because artificial intelligence is not going anywhere. I think in the next few years it is just going to progress, and there are going to be hundreds and different of tools out there, just like there were a few years back when we were in school. There was new websites getting, and there was Google, there was Bing, there was Yahoo, there was so many search engines being made. Just like that, we're gonna have so many AI tools, and we're not gonna know the goods and the bads and the repercussions of all of that. So this series, I am so happy to complete this today. I would love to hear your comments on my videos. What do you think? Is there something you want me to cover in this? And I would be now talking about artificial intelligence tools, how we can use them as lawyers, law students, and even for clients. That sometimes what happens is that our clients come to us with information which is generated from artificial intelligence, and we have to tell them that this is not right or it's wrong, or sometimes they keep questioning us because they think that their information is correct. But to sum it up, I hope everybody got some sort of learning or information from my 30 days videos, and I would love to hear the comments of what you people would love to see next. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and share, and connect with me on LinkedIn for sure. I would leave all the descriptions below, and even my LinkedIn ID, so do connect with me. Thank you so much.